Moscow hydraulic engineer Ivan Golovanov took up his theory of blood circulation when age pressed him against the wall. Diseases began to overwhelm him, and his vision sharply deteriorated. Wanting to improve his own condition, he decided to figure out what was wrong with his vessels and why his blood circulation was so poor. Reading textbooks on human anatomy and physiology, he discovered that the theory of blood circulation currently dominant in medicine is terribly underdeveloped. Aware of the responsibility of such a task, Golovanov accumulated specialized medical knowledge for many years, while building and improving his own theory of blood circulation, before he was convinced that the discovery could be shared with the world. But the lack of a specialized medical education prevented him from conveying the full beauty of his own discovery to the masses. We will tell you the summary of this blood circulation theory in the form of a short thesis, taken from an interview with the author of this theory, Ivan Golovanov. It is known that the total length of vessels in the human body reaches 100,000 kilometers, shares the hydraulic engineer, and the power of the heart is only 3 to 10 watts. Such a ratio does not comply with elementary hydromechanical laws. Having such low power, it's simply impossible to push fluid through thousands of kilometers of micron diameter tubes. The circulatory system is like a water supply or sewage network, continuous pipes. Humanity has no problems calculating pipeline networks. Millions of kilometers of pipelines have been built. The question is, why can the hydrodynamic resistance of steel pipes be measured elementarily, but the resistance of blood vessels cannot? If you, as an engineer, were given the task of pushing fluid into a network of tiny capillaries of enormous length, what kind of power pump would you use? The task has no solution. To push blood to the capillaries, you would need a pump of such power that the aorta would have to be made of multi-layer steel a meter thick. It turns out that to explain blood flow in the body, medical science abandons hydrodynamics and resorts to the laws of the flow of electrical current. More precisely, to Kirchhoff's law, if anyone is interested, and they conclude that the resistance to fluid flow in the wide, short aorta is greater than in millions of tiny capillaries. The absurdity of this conclusion is clear to any plumber, as vessels are not electrical wires. According to Ivan Golovanov's theory, the heart sets a wave, pushing a small portion of blood with low pressure into the aorta. And then, the vessels themselves begin to push blood with a rhythmic wave. Each vessel is wrapped in muscle tissue, the purpose of which modern medicine cannot explain. But he can. The wave of contraction running through these muscles is what moves the blood forward. This is the opinion of a hydraulic scientist, a person directly connected with fluids. But he is logically and partially right, even from the point of view of official science. In reality, everything happens in a much more complex and interesting way. We will tell you where the heart rhythm comes from, how and where it originates, where and how it moves, and what results. To understand how blood moves in the vessels of the human body, our story must begin with the system of transmitting rhythm to the biostructure. The rhythm is set by tact. Without tact, there is no life. Scientists call tact auto-oscillations. Tact, common for all biostructures, is transmitted from the sun's atmosphere through communication tubes to all planets of our star system. The magnetic impulse of tact reaches our planet from the control complexes of the moon. There are 12 tact receivers on Earth, one of which is the control complex, Stonehenge. On our planet, tact spreads through a formation device called the collider. The collider's task is to provide the tact necessary for all metabolic processes in the organism, taking into consideration hundreds of microseconds. This energy pumping system was created after the capture of Earth, approximately 17,000 BC, for the existence of all types of biostructures, plants, and control complexes in the environment of the interventionist Earth control system. It includes 2 toroids located at a depth of 1,200 meters from sea level. The northern toroid follows the contour of the northern polar circle. The southern also follows the contour of the southern one in the figure. The collider toroids are wrapped with 8,640,000 meridians, but this is only for energy transmission. There are meridians for other tasks as well. The takt interval of the magnetic impulse supply is exactly 1 second. For humans, it is supplied at the 37th octave, that is, 2 to the power of 37 oscillations per second, which is why all people have the same heartbeat. Disconnecting the entire 37th octave would mean the disappearance of humanity, like the dinosaurs. In essence, the takt transmission system is the well-known meridians and parallels. Only, the parallels are actually spirals, and the number of meridians and spirals is tens of millions. In the human energy structure, there is also a similar construct. It is called the information polymer. You can read more about all this in Fyodor Skrudnev's monograph, Reconstruction of Reality.